A shadow moves across a grand ballroom, the glow of candlelight flickering over gilded walls. The air is thick with whispers, secrets hidden behind elegant masks in every corner. Longing glances are exchanged, and hearts beat faster with unspoken desire. The Bridgerton family name carries power, prestige, and scandal, and in this season, no secret will stay hidden for long. Step into a world where love, passion, and betrayal collide in a dazzling dance of elegance and danger. Asterisk, the camera sweeps over the rooftops of London at dusk. The city bathed in a golden-orange glow. Smoke curls gently from chimneys, and the distant sound of horse hooves echoes down cobblestone streets. The camera slowly pans down to the grand entrances of Bridgerton Estates, where carriages drawn by sleek black horses arrive one by one, their wheels clicking rhythmically against the stone. The sun dips lower, casting long shadows across gardens full of carefully manicured hedges, fountains sparkling in the fading light. Inside the grand ballrooms, chandeliers shimmer like captured stars, casting dancing lights over the guests. Elegant gowns sweep across the polished floors as couples twirl gracefully, the music swelling with every step. Yet, amid the beauty, tension simmers. A hand brushes over a folded letter. Trembling slightly, eyes dart sideways, searching, hiding something. Urgent, something dangerous. Silhouettes of masked dancers flicker past, their movements both mesmerizing and haunting. The audience feels the thrill and danger, even without seeing faces, just the elegance, the gestures, the careful glances that speak volumes. The narration begins softly, like a secret shared behind closed doors. In the world of Bridgerton, every glance tells a story, every touch hides a secret. Families rise and fall on whispers, and hearts can be won or broken in the blink of an eye. The camera moves closer to a balcony, where the evening sky darkens and the first stars appear. A solitary figure gazes out, fingers lightly tracing the edge of a carved railing. Lost in thought, the tension builds, hinting at romances, betrayals, and passions yet to ignite. The orchestral music rises slowly, delicate at first, then swelling, with dramatic strings punctuated by the soft tolling of distant bells. Candlelight flickers against the walls, throwing intricate shadows across the polished floors, hinting at mysteries and intrigues lurking in the corners. On-screen text appears elegantly. The season everyone has been waiting for. The words fade, replaced by brief flashes of masked faces, hands brushing over letters, and the faintest hints of confrontations, all seen from behind fans or through candlelit windows. The audience is drawn into a world of anticipation, curiosity piqued, wondering which romances will bloom, which secrets will shatter, and which scandals will take center stage. The section ends with a subtle cliffhanger slow pan across the ballroom as the music swells and cuts to black, leaving viewers breathless, eager to see the next moment of drama unfold. Asterisk, a faint rustle of silk echoes down a dimly lit hallway. Candles flicker in the polished sconces, their flames dancing as if whispering secrets. Shadows stretch across the walls, bending and twisting, making the grand estate feel alive with hidden eyes. In the distance, a door creaks open just enough for a folded letter to slide silently across the marble floor. The camera lingers on the letter for a heartbeat, then cuts to a gloved hand hovering above it, hesitation in every movement. The music grows tense, a subtle blend of violins and low cello notes, pulling the audience deeper into the unseen drama. The scene shifts to the ballroom once more, but this time, the grandeur feels fragile. Couples twirl in perfect rhythm, yet every glance carries suspicion. A silver fin flutters shut with a sharp snap, cutting through the murmur of polite conversation. Fingers brush over hidden rings and whispered names pass quickly from ear to ear. A figure pauses. Mid-step, there. Silhouette frozen against the candlelight, as if frozen by a revelation too dangerous to speak aloud. The camera moves close to the flicker of eyes behind a mask, capturing the silent battle between desire and caution. Here, the walls themselves seem to hold their breath, awaiting the unfolding of secrets that could shatter reputations. Narration begins in a hushed, almost conspiratorial tone. In a world ruled by appearances, no one can trust what they see. Every smile hides a plan. Every touch hides a promise or a betrayal. The focus shifts to small, intimate details. A trembling hand clutching a letter stamped with red wax. A glance over the shoulder at a whispering couple. The brush of a sleeve across a hidden compartment in a desk. These moments speak louder than words, showing that the stakes are higher than ever. The audience feels the tension, sensing that one wrong move could change everything. The camera follows a masked figure as they glide past the grand staircase. The hem of their gown whispering across the floor. Music crescendos with dramatic strings and a faint heartbeat overlay, punctuating the suspense. On-screen text flashes briefly: love, betrayal, and secrets that can't stay hidden. The words linger just long enough to set the tone. Before vanishing into darkness, a clock strikes midnight, echoing through the empty halls, marking not only the passage of time but also the urgency of every hidden plot. Every creaking floorboard, every rustling curtain, every hesitant step hints at intrigue, danger, and romance, all interwoven in a single, delicate dance dot as the section closes. The camera pans up to a balcony where two masked figures pass by. Their hands almost touching, but never quite meeting. The tension is palpable. Music softens slightly, leaving a faint note hanging in the air like a question the audience can't yet answer. Viewers are left teetering between anticipation and suspense, eager to see who will act first, whose secrets will be revealed, and which forbidden desires will ignite in the shadows of Bridgerton's world. A swirl of silk and candlelight glides across a grand hallway, catching glimpses of figures who carry themselves with quiet authority. The camera lingers on small, telling details: a hand tightening over a delicate lace fan, a ring glinting under the chandelier, a sleeve brushed with gold embroidery. These gestures, subtle yet deliberate, reveal the character's status, power, and hidden intentions. Every movement hints at a personality, a secret longing, or a storm waiting to break. The audience doesn't need to see the faces to know who commands the room and who hides behind whispered doubts. The music rises, a soft mixture of harp and strings, creating an elegant tension. A figure pauses at a doorway, hand hovering over an unopened letter. The camera captures the slight tremor of anticipation, the poised stillness of someone carrying the weight of expectation. Another figure leans over a balcony, fingertips brushing against the polished railing, eyes scanning a ballroom teeming with motion and intrigue. Quick flashes reveal flowing gowns, the shimmer of silk and velvet, and masks that conceal far more than they protect. Each image teases a story romance on the verge, secrets threatening to spill, rivalries simmering just out of reach. The narration whispers like a secret shared behind a closed door. Some hearts are fearless, some hearts are guarded, and some will risk everything for a moment of forbidden passion. The camera shifts from one figure to another, following subtle interactions, a hand brushed lightly against another in a crowded room, a fleeting glance across a chandelier-lit hall, a note slipped into a pocket just before the owner steps away. Even faceless, these characters speak volumes through action, gesture, and timing, drawing viewers into their world of high stakes, societal expectation, and unspoken desire. On-screen text punctuates each glimpse, giving just enough to spark curiosity. Lady Daphne Bridgerton, the heart of the season. Anthony Bridgerton, torn between duty and desire, new faces arriving to stir the calm. The words appear elegantly, fading into the candlelit shadows before revealing another secret, a hand brushing over a locked drawer, the faintest smirk hidden behind a mask. A foot hesitating on a staircase step. The camera pans and cuts in rhythm, with the orchestral score, each frame teasing both intrigue and romance. As the section nears its close, the music swells, and a silent confrontation unfolds. Two figures face one another across the ballroom from opposite sides, hands almost meeting, but tension and decorum hold them apart. The camera lingers on their gestures, the tilt of a head, a paused movement, a flutter of fabric, leaving viewers to feel the weight of what could happen. no faces, no dialogue. Only the language of motion, the art of anticipation, and the promise of stories waiting to unravel. The scene fades to black with a single on-screen line. The Bridgertons return. Stronger, wilder, more entangled than ever. Asterisk, the night deepens. And the grand estate seems to hold its breath. Shadows stretch across the hallways, flickering in the candlelight, as if the walls themselves are watching. A hand hovers over a locked drawer, then retreats, trembling with hesitation. The faint clink of a key sliding into the lock echoes like a warning. Every movement, every creak of the floorboards suggests that a secret is about to spill, one that could unravel the delicate dance of romance and decorum that defines the Bridgerton world. The camera moves through the ballroom in a slow, deliberate glide, passing over masked dancers whose motions hide tension beneath elegance. A silver fin snaps shut in the corner, startling a figure whose gloved hand hovers over a letter stained with wax. Another silhouette slips quietly up the staircase, trailing a shadow that seems almost alive, hinting at forbidden meetings and whispered plots. The music rises with a low, insistent beat, blending strings and soft percussion to mimic a racing heartbeat, drawing the audience closer to the unfolding drama. Narration cuts in, soft yet urgent. No secret can stay hidden forever. Every whispered word, every stolen glance carries a weight, a consequence waiting to strike. The camera focuses on small, revealing details, a candle guttering, casting distorted shadows, a hand brushing a hidden compartment beneath the table, a gown's hem catching on the edge of a chair, pausing the figure just long enough to sense danger. Each frame is a puzzle, each movement loaded with meaning, allowing the audience to feel the suspense without ever seeing a face on screen. Text flashes briefly. The truth cannot be contained. Quick, staccato cuts reveal fleeting moments, hands trembling over letters, a foot stepping into an empty corridor, a fan dropped with a sharp snap, the faintest silhouette watching from above. The camera then shifts to a rain-soaked window, streaks of water distorting the glow of candlelight inside. Behind it, a figure moves silently, almost ghost-like, suggesting a revelation or confrontation that could shatter hearts and reputations alike. The orchestral score swells dramatically, the music punctuated by a single sharp note, leaving the audience in suspense, their pulse rising with every shadow and subtle gesture. As the scene reaches its climax, two silhouettes move toward each other across the ballroom, separated by distance but charged with unspoken tension. Hands hover, almost touching, and the flickering candlelight creates fleeting, intimate shapes. The camera lingers on the smallest gestures, the tilt of a wrist, the pause of a footstep, the flutter of a fan, each hinting at betrayal, desire, or revelation. The music crashes briefly, then softens to a haunting whisper as the screen fades to black. On-screen text appears in elegant script. Some secrets ignite passion, some destroy everything. Bridgerton Season 4 coming 2026. The audience is left with a heartbeat of suspense, a craving to witness the unfolding romance, scandal, and intrigue, fully immersed in the faceless cinematic world of Bridgerton. The rain begins to patter softly against the tall, arched windows of the estate, casting a shimmering pattern of light and shadow across the polished marble floors. Candle flames quiver, their reflection dancing like tiny, restless hearts. In the dim glow, hands brush ever so slightly, just enough for a spark to ignite, but not enough to betray what lingers between them. A gown sweeps the floor with a whisper, and a masked figure pauses mid-step, fingers trembling as if pulled by a force stronger than decorum. The tension between what is proper and what is forbidden hangs thick in the air. The camera glides along the corridors, capturing fleeting gestures, a sleeve brushing against another sleeve, a hand lingering on a balustrade, a subtle tilt of the head that hints at longing. Every frame is a delicate tease of intimacy, showing that passion can bloom in silence, in shadows, in moments that others may never notice. A soft orchestral melody rises, punctuated by the gentle chime of distant bells, mirroring the rising pulse of hearts caught between duty and desire. Each note amplifies the unspoken story, letting the audience feel the romance without a single word being spoken. Narration cuts in like a whispered secret. Some hearts defy the rules. Some passions cannot be tamed in a world built on appearances. Love finds its own path, sometimes in the quietest corners, sometimes in the boldest gestures. The camera shifts to a balcony, rain streaming down the glass. Two figures move closer, their hands almost touching, the tension palpable. The storm outside mirrors the storm within, each heartbeat echoing the thrill of risk. The allure of the forbidden. Silhouettes blend and separate in the candlelight. Every gesture weighted with anticipation and longing. On-screen text punctuates the romance, appearing briefly and elegantly. Passion ignites. Scandal awaits. Every heart has a secret. The screen flickers with glimpses of flowing gowns, whispered touches, and fleeting moments of closeness, even without showing faces. The audience can feel the magnetic pull between the characters, the danger, the temptation, and the promise of a love that cannot remain hidden. The orchestral music swells to a crescendo as the camera pans across a ballroom, the shadows of dancers merging and separating in a hypnotic rhythm, echoing the push and pull of desire. The section closes with a subtle, electrifying moment, too. Gloved hands hover inches apart, paused in a heartbeat suspended in time, fingers almost brushing. The candlelight flickers, the music softens, and the camera lingers just long enough for the audience to feel the intensity of a love that will define the season. The anticipation is palpable, leaving viewers breathless, craving the full story of romance, scandal, and the forbidden allure of Bridgerton's world. Asterisk, the camera swoops through the grand estate in a sudden rush, moving from flickering candles to rain-streaked windows. Then across polished floors where shadows twist like dancers in a storm. Every movement feels urgent, like a heartbeat racing toward revelation. The orchestral score crashes with dramatic strings and percussion, punctuating every secret that teeters on the edge of exposure. Silhouettes dart past doorways, whispering behind fans, slipping letters under doors, their motions frantic yet graceful. Chaos simmers beneath the elegance, and the tension feels almost tangible, pressing against the audience like the walls themselves are closing in. Quick flashes capture fragmented moments, a hand trembling over a sealed envelope, a fan dropped with a sharp clatter, a sleeve brushing against a secret compartment, a foot pausing mid-step as if sensing danger. Candle flames flare and gutter, casting wild, distorted shadows that hint at hidden confrontations. Silhouettes rush up staircases, skirts and coats flowing like water. As if the very building breathes with the stories it contains, a chandelier sways ever so slightly, echoing the sense that even the most carefully constructed world can collapse in an instant. Narration rises in urgency, low and compelling. In Bridgerton's world, every choice has a consequence. Every glance can spark desire or ignite scandal. Every secret risks everything. The camera cuts rapidly between moments of intrigue, a hand brushing across another hand too close for propriety. Letters spilled onto the marble floor, masked figures in sudden confrontation, and fleeting touches that speak louder than words. The audience is swept into the rhythm of suspense, caught between elegance and danger, love and betrayal. On-screen text appears in quick succession, elegant yet urgent. The Bridgertons return. Stronger, wilder, more entangled than ever. Passion, betrayal, secrets that could destroy. Bridgerton Season 4 coming 2026. The text blazes across the screen and fades into the shadows, leaving viewers suspended in anticipation. The final visual lingers on a silhouette framed in a doorway, hands almost touching, a candle flickering between them, as the storm outside lashes the windows. The orchestral music crescendos, then cuts sharply to a single, haunting note, leaving a moment of silence heavy with tension. The trailer closes in a heartbeat of cinematic suspense. The audience is left with racing thoughts, hearts pounding, and a sense of urgency, the promise of forbidden love, hidden plots, and scandalous intrigue. Even without seeing faces, every gesture, every shadow, every flicker of candlelight tells a story, leaving viewers craving the season desperate to step into Bridgerton's world of elegance, passion, and chaos. The screen goes momentarily dark, broken only by the faint flicker of candlelight reflecting across a polished floor. The camera glides slowly through the empty ballroom, now quiet, yet heavy with echoes of whispered secrets, racing hearts, and unspoken desires. Silhouettes linger in doorways, frozen mid-gesture, suggesting love, betrayal, and ambition all hanging. In the balance, rain taps against tall windows, a soft percussion that mirrors the racing heartbeat of the season ahead. The atmosphere is electric, still, tense, and poised for revelation. A single gloved hand reaches out, hovering over a letter, then pulls away, leaving the mystery unresolved. The music swells, soft strings first, then bold orchestral notes rising like a tide, hinting at the grandeur, romance, and scandal that await. Candle flames flare dramatically, casting long shadows that stretch across the ballroom floor, creating the illusion of hundreds of invisible stories unfolding at once. The audience senses that every glance, every whisper, and every hidden gesture matters. On-screen text appears in elegant, sweeping script. Some hearts will be won, some secrets will be exposed, and every desire will have its price. The camera pans upward, catching the towering chandeliers and the high, painted ceilings, shimmering with golden light. Silhouettes of figures pass beneath, frozen mid-dance, as if time itself has paused to let the drama settle. The narration, soft and compelling, concludes.